was like, straight line. The Trans Am was cool, but the second you had to make a turn,
The Fiero was like driving in a go-kart.
Oh. What the fuck was that thing? You want to talk about a go-kart? It was a cool fucking car. Jason Knoll had. It was a Honda Civic Sport Coupe, I think. Like, no joke. It sat like 6 inches off the fucking ground.
Uh-huh.
It had like it had a hard top roof that you could just completely take off.
Uh-huh.
And like it was a 2-seater. Like it was. I honestly, whenever we rode around that thing, like if I sat up, like if we took the roof off and I sat up, my head was over the windshield. Like in the winter, like when the roof was on, like I had to scrunch down to fit in that fucking car.
Yeah.
It moved. It was a cool little car, but I honestly, I felt like I was riding a go-kart in that fucking thing.
Yeah. It's funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, what else?
Yeah. It's classic, the Pontiac Fiero. I forgot about that piece of shit.
And the Fiero GT.
Oh, well. Because the Grand Tour.
I had one for about 4 days. My buddy borrowed my truck. Do you remember that?
4 days. No, I don't.
We traded cars for like 4 days, and I had a Fiero for 4 days. So I did. It must have been... I don't remember the year.
Yeah. That's funny. Like you were like, I need my truck back.
Yeah, I wanted my truck back. But even my truck was small. I mean, I had a Ranger at the time.
Yeah, you had a Ranger, but still, I mean, that was still higher than a Fiero.
No, that Fiero is... The only sports car I really liked back then, I don't know why, but I loved the Toyota Celica. I thought that was a badass ride.
Yeah.
Had like that. Had almost an hourglass shape.
Yeah.
It was a weird shaped car. I mean, there was the Nissan NSX, which was never feasible. But Celica, I almost bought a Celica.
Yeah.
Thank God my mom made me change my tune. It's a badass car, though. I loved it.
My first car was almost a GTO.
Oh, wow. You should have bought that.
I was trying to. My dad fucked me over on it.
Are you serious?
Serious. And smartly. I mean, I'm 16.
So you got a love truck? I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, we went to go look at it. It was $500.
Uh-huh.
This kid was selling it for $500. Oh, it looked good. It was blue. I'll never forget this. I mean, it was a blue. It was beautiful. My dad got underneath it, and he's like, "It's dripping tranny fluid, Sean." I'm like, "Well, can we fix it?" He's like, No, you don't want to get involved in that. It's too much money." I'm like, okay, so I never bought it. Years later, he admitted to me. He's like, when you took that thing for a test drive, I knew it was going to end up wrapped around a tree. He's like, so he's like, because he looked it over. He's like, okay, we'll think it over. We'll get back to you. We get in the car and we're driving away. He's like, yeah, it's dripping tranny fluid. You don't want that. And years later, he admitted to me. He's like, I made it up because you would ended up wrapped around a fucking telephone pole.
You think?
That's what he told me.
No, do you think you would have?
That's a possibility, yeah. But I would have been so badass. Like, you know what I mean? Like pulling into school in a fucking GTO.
Yeah.
Like I'll never forget. Jack Knoll had a 77 Camaro.
Uh-huh.
That Camaro was it was a death trap piece of shit.
Mm-hmm.
But he let me drive it around one day. He's like, I'm doing something. I need you to go. Can you go do this for me? Here, take my keys. Me and Scott Jenkins are driving around in this fucking Camaro. And women are just like, hey, hey, if I would have had myself at the age of 16 a fucking GTO, I would have been picking you up, and we would have just been like just knee deep. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It would
yeah.
have just been like, this is how we ride.
Yeah.
Oh.
That sucks.
Yeah, it was like a 68 GTO.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Price is right too.
Oh, yeah. I mean, everything was right about that car. And the old man was like, nah, I don't think you should get it. Yeah, I got this 4-cylinder piece of shit we're going to buy.
How long did you have that thing for?
The love truck?
Yeah.
Hey, 2 years.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What did you get after that?
After that, I was driving. Dad had a 74 Nova.
Mm.
I drove that for a few years. Like my senior year, I had that car. That was a sweet car.
Yeah?
Yeah, because it didn't look. I mean, it was a 74 Nova, but like I think somebody like bored out the engine on that thing because it had some get up and go.
Novas did have get up and go.
Well, I mean, they had good stock engines, but the great thing about the Nova was it was built to be modified. Like it was built to hold an 8-cylinder engine.
Yeah, yeah.
So like a lot of times people were taking those 6s out of that and putting in the 8s. Like my dad's friend Tim had a 72 Nova that had a Corvette engine under the hood. Like that car literally, if you had put wings on it, it would have flown. Like it was like that badass.
Well, another thing about Novas too is they were incredibly light.
Yeah, that was a thing.
Like they were the lightest car. I think it was at the time period when the 68, 69, 70. I think at the time period they were like one of the lightest muscle cars you can buy.
Yeah,
Because they went Chevy Nova, Chevy Nova, Chevy Camaro, Chevy Impala.
Yeah.
SS.
Yeah, like the Nova was deliberately
All of it's
designed for you to be able to fuck with it.
Right, right.
You know, it was not meant to be a grandpa car. It was meant to be modified, you know, and tinkered with. Which was like
What was that?
like,
Good. What was that green monster Pap used to drive around?
oh.
Wasn't it a coupe?
Well, I mean, what, the station wagon?
No, the green one. Remember that green beast he used to drive around?
Yeah.
Not the station wagon.
Yeah. I can't remember what that was.
I can't either. No, my only memory, it always had muffler problems.
Yeah.
Something always wrong with the exhaust in the damn.
Yeah.
Dying in the back seat.
But then the old man had that one that when I was younger, I was like 12 or 13.
The black one.
Yeah. It was
the neons.
Yeah, it was an Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme Sports Coupe.
Yeah, I think it was badass.
It had a 404 barrel under the hood with a glass pack.
Yeah.
That thing had a rumble to it.
Yeah.
Like that was a straight up street racer.
Where do you get that from?
I don't know. He him and his buddy Tim would need a car, and Tim would be like, yeah, I got so and so selling this for $1,000. You know. Next thing you know, that's what we've got. Right. You know. That was a badass ride.
Yeah, it was a nice car.
Yeah.
I remember that too. Something about the radio was weird though.
It had an equalizer in it.
Yeah.
It actually it was like the first time I ever saw an equalizer was in the fucking This whole
Yeah.
movie.
Didn't have red light interiors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like in the inside, there was like you flip the switch and like it was like underneath the
Yeah.
underneath the dashboard were these red lights.
Yeah.
It was primer
Crazy.
black.
Yeah. I remember the primer black too.
Yeah.
That car was nuts.
Like I would remember like he'd drive me home from like football practice, and he would go the long way so that he could go down on River Road, like go underneath the Jerome Street Bridge, so from like Jerome Street to 15th Street, like that way, so that he could just open it up and like show off for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because you go around that bend underneath the Jerome Street Bridge and you come up the hill, and like he'll already be accelerating coming up the hill. So like by the time you got to the top and you were like going down that straightaway, like he was pushing like 110, easy, just like a fucking missile going like, that's like half a mile.
Yeah.
That was a quarter-mile car.
Yeah, for sure.
Fucking
cool
Christ
car.
burners. That was a quarter-mile car.
When Mom first got up here, she had that Cordoba.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a piece of shit, but the fucker was a V8 rear.
Oh, yeah.
That was badass. Leather interior.
Yeah. Yeah, but it was also a fucking boat. It needed that V8 to push that fucking boat.
It was Chrysler's like only fucking attempted muscle car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then the one I'm thinking of is the Fury. She had that Fury.
Fury. I don't remember that.
It was a boat.
Oh, that was the blue with the white top.
Yeah. That was a Pontiac Fury because my parents got one too.
She bought it off Margie.
Yeah. That thing needed a V8 engine in it to push how much steel was wrapped around you.
My buddy had, not my buddy, my brother, well, he had that Mustang. Anyway, I won't even go there. But he had, when that Mustang was done, he had his first car he bought before the Tercel, 1986 Tercel, was a 1977 Ford LTD, the Banana Boat, Banana Boat yellow, green interior.
Yeah.
That thing was a fucking monster.
I can imagine.
I mean, you talk about your monster cars. Holy fuck. That thing was a beast.
Yeah.
I mean, people thought the Lincoln Town Car was big. Couldn't touch the Ford LTD.
And I'll never forget I had that whatchamacallit? Chevy. I can't remember. But it looked like a cop car.
Okay. Impala?
No, it wasn't an Impala. I can't believe I can't remember what this was.
Crown Vic?
No. But it looked like a cop car, even though it wasn't. And on top of that, I had like a spotlight. I don't know why I had a spotlight, but I had a spotlight. And I'll never forget. I was trying to find somebody's house. I was trying to find Scott Jenkins' house in Duquesne. And I'm driving along, and I'm looking, like I'm trying to look at a map as I'm driving. So I've got the spotlight out, and there's these kids scrambling and running. And then I hear somebody say, "That ain't no cop car." I'm like, "Oh shit!" Get the spotlight, everything.